So, hey everyone, Nick Corso, Commissioner of the North American Cricket Club. Today I am joined by special guest Dan Coury and Cameron Lowe, who's also founder of North American Cricket Club.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
really what had happened was after I had made contact with Julian, it felt like a great fit. And I booked a flight and went to Houston and spent a few weeks with him. This was 2017. Houston was in the World Series. Yeah. So we were watching the World Series, hanging out, talking baseball, talking cricket, going to a cricket stadium called Musa Cricket Stadium. I
That's right.
believe it's in
Yep.
Friendswood or somewhere close to that, in Texas, like a suburb of Houston.
Right.
And yeah, we worked out there every day and, sharpened me up. And
Yeah.
basically I came back after that, joined the men's league over here and played for a bit and carried it through. And personally and honestly, my body didn't want to hold up. I had some injuries that were coming back to me. And so I wasn't going to be able to pursue it at the level that I wanted to. It wasn't meant for me in that regard. But I opened that door up, and that interest and that passion was there for cricket. It's a ball and a bat and a guy throwing it at you. You hit it, you field it, you run, you throw. I mean, it's beautiful. And I really believe that so many baseball players are going to absolutely kill it, coming over from at most levels of professional baseball. I would say even like a high level college D1 guy coming in. I mean, that skill set will translate.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about that. How did you? So you go down and you meet with Julian, and he puts a cricket bat in your hand. How did the transition feel to you?
It felt natural, to be honest. I
Yeah.
mean,
Good.
the only the satisfaction of hitting the ball is there. It feels great. Obviously there's some techniques and some strategies that you do that you're not always swinging for a six. You're not trying to hit the ball out of the field every time. Some guys do, but there's definitely some strategy to it besides just swinging and hitting it. But the satisfaction was there. You're hitting it, feels solid. The only difference is it's coming off the ground. So I mean,
Right.
for me as a catcher, it was similar to reacting to blocking a ball. So if a guy's throwing a curveball in the dirt and I'm going to block it as a catcher, you're looking at how that ball's hitting the ground and reversing itself. If it's a curveball or if it's a fastball with backspin, it'll have its own way. And when you watch cricket, you'll see the way that the guys release the ball. They spin it. They do different things. Obviously, they're the elbow straight, but they're spinning it so when it hits the ground, it does something funky and you miss it. The strike zone is physical in cricket, which is so cool. So there's so many
Yeah.
elements that fit in so perfectly. It's like the same genetics. It's the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now.
in baseball, we've got, as a hitter, you might get 4 or 5 balls put in play. In cricket, as a hitter, you could put 50 balls in play,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
more, something like that. So
Yeah.
you're actually getting way more action as the hitters. How,
If
how
you're
is
good,
that?
you
How
you
is that
can you can
trans?
stay up.
Yeah.
It's fun. If you can hit, it's going to be fun, and if you can't, it's not going to be because you're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna be out real quick. But there are some guys that are up there for like it seems like it's an eternity. They're just hitting rocket after rocket, and they know what they're doing. You know, my favorite guy to watch would be Chris Gale from the West Indies. Man, he's big lefty, and he sits there and puts up over 100 or used to when he was playing routinely. I mean, it's amazing to watch it. The thing as a baseball player seeing cricket guys do well hitting is marveling at the fact that they're hitting it off the bounce. That's really the thing that is going to dictate how well you're going to do in cricket. As a player, unless you're a bowler, is catching it off that bounce and reading the ball and paying attention to it because we're so used to hitting it with what cricket people would call on the full, which is a baseball pitch that we're accustomed to wanting to take it. But if you can make that choice that you're going to stay in and read that ball, man, like I said, so many of these baseball guys are going to kill it.
Yeah. You know, so funny, Dan, is we didn't coach you on what to say here coming into this, but that was the answer that we're hoping to hear from you. I mean, you're a guy who's done it. You know, you played baseball, you transitioned a little bit into cricket, you experimented with it. We're hoping it was gonna be natural, you know, that
Yeah.
transition. That's what we think everybody's gonna experience. You know, we were talking to,
Yeah.
to Edwin Jackson the other day too, and you were talking about something just now about, you know, Edwin was saying how he as a baseball player can see the ball. I mean, can see the spin, see the rotation. And it's something that I think a lot of baseball players learn to do, right? Better than certainly, you know, I can. I never played at your level of baseball, but you know, the normal guy can't necessarily see that, but we think it's one of those tiny little things that baseball players do that's going to transition so well into cricket is
Yeah.
watching the spin on that ball.